once again, and welcome to our Week 6 recap. As you notice, our intro song there, We're Not Gonna Take It, is dedicated to all the teams who lost this week, and especially those teams that lost by one gosh darn catch, which was a catch, and then taken away, and then lose by less than a point at like midnight, when then you can't sleep the rest of the night. And anyways, that song was dedicated to whoever that may end up being. Anyways, I almost don't want to do a recap video after how that game turned out last night. So close, but it's okay. It's alright. We'll make it through. But anyway, so let's jump into, before we'll get into the rankings and so on afterwards, but let's get into the breakdown of how I did in picking and then how everyone else did throughout the week. So looking at our matchups, we always leave mine till last, so we'll start with Sean on his picking here. Let's see, for this one, I picked Sean to win. I said he had the better quarterback, wide receiver, kicker, but I had in the comments on here, I really wanted Will to win. Again, nothing personal, Sean. It's not like I'm always picking you to lose, or you're the new Ian or the new Josh or anything like that. That's not the case. It's just that I want this league to be competitive, and I want, I don't really want to see, too many people fall so far down, as we start to get the mid part of the season where it's almost impossible for them to fight back. And Will was getting to that point. So Will definitely needed a win, and boy, he got it this week. He scored 140 points, which I haven't checked, but I'm probably safe in guessing that's probably the most points he has scored this year. And you got to give it to him, Mostert. That late round pick that all of us are looking back now going, how the heck did we not pick him? Henry had a pretty good game. Thielen, another late round pick who's just getting targets and the ball thrown to him by default based on who else is on that team. I mean, Cooper had an okay. His kicker ended up matching Butker. All that being said, Will ended up pulling out this victory this week, which is fantastic because he needed it. Moves him to 2-4, dropped Sean down to 3-3, but put me, that was the first pick, and I got that one wrong. The next one here was between Clint and Josh, and I did say Clint was going to end up winning, and boy, was it close. That was another a couple of people in the league that were watching this game to the very end last night, and Josh, maybe that song was also dedicated to you. It was mostly for me, who took a heartbreaking loss, but really looking at your total points, I knew it was close, but I guess I didn't realize it was 2 points. Mine was within about a point. Yours was within 2 points, because I know you both had players playing last night. So, but Clint ends up with the win. Really, Williams had a decent day. Kelsey, started that off, of course, down Sutton. Nothing crazy, really, between the two. They didn't end up scoring a ton of points like some of the other teams did that's in the 130s or 140s. But you know what? Clint scored enough to win, and that's all that matters. I said before, he was on his comeback tour like we've been stating all year, and now he is up to 3-3. And that moves Josh to 3-3. But that was a pick I got right, so I was 1-1 after those two picks. The next grouping here, we had Ian and Jeremy. Jeremy's just having a tough season, and it continued this past week. I picked Ian to win. Ian is our top dog. He scores a ton of points, and just whoever plays against him just suffers. And that continued this week as Jeremy just had a rough week. Jeremy really, struggled to get points. Waddle had an okay, his kicker decent, I guess defense okay, but nothing like he needed some of those Mostert or Tyreek Hill numbers of like 40s and 50s points and so on, and he really didn't have anybody that scored all that much. And Ian didn't really have, now that I look at it, I guess St. Brown had 30. That definitely helped when you're, that far over your projections, but the rest of his team did just okay. But it's Ian doing what Ian always does, and that's he scores enough to win. He continues just to put up a ton of points every single week, stays number one in the league. But anyways, Ian moves to 5-1. Unfortunately, Jeremy just dropped down to 1-5, but that was a pick I got right, so I was 2-1 after those three. Next, Jake and Dez. This is one I got wrong, and I put a bunch of question marks right next to Jake's name on here going, Jake, what the heck happened? 78 points. I mean, we scroll down, yeah, Montgomery got hurt. Davis, Smith, Kittle, Evans, Moody, who lost a darn game for the 49ers. Just all over the place. But you know what, Jake? We all can't win. Even though you weren't close, maybe that song was still dedicated to you as well, just knowing that, hey, we'll take the loss, we'll learn from it, we'll build a better team for next week and move on. Dez, on the other hand, who I said had the advantage at wide receiver, and he ended up, just based on what Jake had, but he also did pretty well at running back, kicker. Again, enough. He only scored 112 points, but when your opponent only scores 78, then you just take the win and you be happy with it. So Jake drops to 4-2, Dez moves to 3-3, and I was 2-2 after 4 picks. Next, we had John and Adam. It was another close matchup, which I love. I love these close matchups. And just when I'm on the wrong side of them, then I don't like them as much. But anyways, I picked Adam to win this week. He sure did. I gave him the advantage in quarterback, wide receiver, and defense. Quarterback, yes. Wide receiver, yeah. For the most part, maybe it was a toss-up. Said defense because he already had his defense playing. So, yeah, John was 0 from his kicker, 2.5 from his tight end. Cook not having a great day. You just think, John, all you needed is another 7.5 points, and that could have got you the win. So, I guarantee you had that somewhere probably on your bench. Yeah, I guess you did. You had a couple wide receivers that had pretty good days that probably could have factored in somewhere in there, could have made the difference. But anyways, he didn't. So it drops John down to 2-4, moves Adam to 3-3, and I've also got circled here Adam's on his own comeback tour. Exactly what I predicted, that Adam and Clint, they're 3-3. They're now back in the playoff hunt, looking good. Oh, last one, and I really don't want to talk about it, but I guess I have to. Jay wins this one by less than a point. And for those, I was watching the game, falling asleep, had it on my phone. It was alerting me, so I was in and out watching it. I knew the last drive. I had to have at least one catch. But then, of course, I'm seeing messages posted from Jay and from Clint, and made me, actually wake up then and look at it. And that just, of course, ruined my night. And then I barely slept the rest of the night. So, Jay, hopefully you're listening to this and just laughing the whole way, because you stole one. You got lucky. It was taken from me. I thought I had the victory, but, like I said before, when I was 4-1, it's nice to have a little bit of a cushion. So if you lose, you've got a couple of games that you can lose and still be in playoff contention. But anyways, we both sucked, though, when it came to total points. When you win with 104, that's pretty awful. For Jay, celebrate it. You won. You won the week. You're not going to win most weeks with 104 points, but when you play somebody who only scores 103, you'll take the win. Neither of us really had anybody that was outstanding. Our wide receivers kind of offset each other. Myers, I know outscored projections. Keenan Allen does what he does. Across the board, nobody really jumped off the page, and it was kind of average, and came towards the end where we needed almost the impossible, and again I thought we had it. But anyways, Jay gets the win, moves to 3-3. I take the loss. I moved to 4-2, but that was a pick that I got wrong. So after the one that I got, had Adam right, and then of course I picked mine wrong. Another week for my predictions of 3-3. Not fantastic, but I've been worse, that's for sure. So let's look at the standings. And again, we're going to give all the praise and recognition to our leader. Ian continues to be number one. He's 5-1. 801 points for. The only team really, Adam's got 792, so he's not too far behind, but he's leading. For myself being number 2, which is just, based on record, definitely not for points because I'm way down below that, which scares me a little bit because when, let's say, a team is tied with me for a record, Adam, Sean, Dez, Clint, all of them have more points than I do, so the only advantage I have right now is win-loss. Then I definitely got to keep up. So number 2 and number 3 are 2 teams that are 4-2. So myself and Jake, although we had the loss, we were able to stay at 4-2. Let's see, and then we've got a ton of 3-3 teams. So Adam, Sean, Dez, Clint, Josh, and Jay now all 3-3. Will and John 2-4. I know John dropped to 2-4. Will improved to 2-4. And then Jeremy sitting alone at the bottom on 1-5 with only 612 points. So he's definitely got his work cut out for him. But the good news is, again, we're only halfway through. So we've got plenty of time. Just think, Jeremy went 1-5. He goes 5-1 for his next 6 games. He's in a far better spot, of course. And typically in this league, how all the other years have played out, like you just have to be really darn close to 500. I think there's been some years actually where going into the last week, you have like 3 teams that are 500, and it's just whatever team ends up winning, that's 1 game over 500, that usually is the kicker. That will put you in the playoffs. So just know, again, you don't have to be 5-1. You don't have to be in to make the playoffs in this league. You just got to be, close, just a little bit better than the 500 mark when the year is all said and done. So, all right, that's all we have for the video today. I did say we're going to do another video because we're about halfway. We're going to give out some special grades and some new playoff predictions and so on. We will do that. I just don't have time tonight to put it all into this one. Didn't want to make this video too long, but we'll do a separate video, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, somewhere before the next predictions video that will kind of talk about what the first half has looked like so far, how we've done, and what the second half or so will look like as we start to approach. We're getting towards the second half of the season. So, all right, that's it for tonight. Congrats on those who won. Sucks for those who lost, especially those close games, but it's all right. We'll learn from it and move on for next week. Talk to you guys later.